hundreds of people could be seen mobbing the home of an American-Israeli man in central Israel last night who was seen violently beating and abusing a dog in a series of videos that were posted online. Now, these videos went viral after his girlfriend shared them with animal rights groups, and so many people were infuriated that they stormed his home, making it so that police had to call in reinforcements to actually arrest the suspect. Well, in fact, Israeli celebrity bodybuilder Michel Taroni, who campaigns for animal rights, took justice into his own hands, and he turned up at the abuser's house before cops even got there to take the dog away. Take a look at this.
מה זה אתה צודק? תסביר לי מה קרה. תסביר לי מה קרה. אי אפשר עכשיו לשבוך את הראש, הייתי מרסק. אי אפשר, ואי אפשר גם לאיים. שום דבר. זה עבודה של המשטרה. זה עבודה, למה אין אנשים, אין חוק. אין חוק נגד אנשים כאלו. אז אני יושב פה ככה ולא עושה כלום. וגם אתם לא עושים כלום, והכלב סובל.
Well, joining us now to break down just why this is such a huge story here in Israel is Erez Vol, an advocate of the organization Let the Animals Live. So first of all, how did this video make it online? What was this guy's excuse?
So like you said, this guy took the video himself. He shared it with his ex-girlfriend, and she posted it online. Animal groups got involved, and that's how we found out, and other activists found out. As far as I know, the guy's excuse is probably perhaps mental issues, and not far more. As you can see, he's very apologetic as he's being approached by Michel himself.
Well, I think a lot of people would be apologetic if a huge bodybuilder started threatening you in your face. But, you know, what kind of punishment could this abuser receive for what he did to that dog? What is the penalty here? I mean, what policy is in place to deal with criminals who abuse animals?
So formally, the maximum punishment he could get is 4 years imprisonment for animal abuse, according to the Animal Cruelty Act, because it was with intent to cause serious harm. But usually we see that in cases like this, and even other cases with more animals involved, people usually don't get imprisoned at all. They get a fine, or they get few months of community service.
Right.
So the law itself allows for much more than usually happens.
Well, I mean, it was so sadistic what he did. He tied this dog up. He hit the dog with his hands. He hit it with a belt. The dog was crying. I mean, you can't see that and think that he can get away with something like that. How common of an issue is animal abuse here in Israel?
So animal abuse is actually a very common issue here in Israel and everywhere in the world. Usually you don't get videos of these cases. Usually what you get is a complaint, and in most cases you don't even hear about it because it's behind closed doors in the house or in farms or in slaughterhouses. You don't even hear about it, and even if when you do, in a lot of the cases, there is no law enforcement at all. People just don't get indicted, they don't get fined, nothing like that.
So what I wanted to ask you, because we're just running out of time here, so I'm going to ask you this quickly. You know, why do you think so many people were so impacted by these videos? It really shows a cultural trend here in Israel. 1 in 17 people in Tel Aviv have a dog, so people really felt this, right? They showed up. Does it say something about Israel and changing attitudes?
So the public in Israel cares about animals. The higher ups, that it doesn't see it as much as an issue. Usually, people tend to see in the government, they tend to see other problems as more important, more urgent. So people care about it. That's nothing new about that. Now, this is a particular case when you got a video, you got a very graphic video of what happened. So people felt it close to home. Most of the time, as I just said, you don't see it.